Hi, this is James Gardner, the CineTechGeek, and I'm here with Mike Wakeson of Tektronix. Now, HDR is pretty much one of the big topics of the show, and of course there's a lot of understanding to be made on HDR and how it looks on scopes. And Tektronix pretty much is the company to talk to about how that works and how to understand your scopes and how to understand how, when we're going to HDR, where the light levels need to be in your low, in your blacks, and how you're looking into the blacks, and how to treat your specular highlights. So I'm going to let Mike here discuss that very quickly and show us some of the ways to read his the screens or the display here, and also how we can use a little device here to help you understand what's happening with the specular highlights and the lows and the mids and where they should be on your display. So Mike, can you explain to me how this device works and how it's working with your display here?
So when you're capturing your raw image from your camera with a high dynamic range and 14, 15 or 16 stops, you need to make sure you capture that at the right white points.
That's right.
And the gray points. And so this device or any other sort of screen that has a 18% gray and 90% reflectance white can be used to guide you into where to set those levels. And then in this case, the spider cube here allows me to do specular highlights. So that's going to give the reflections for the lights and so forth, and that'll give me more of a dynamic range in the image. And so when I see that on my display, what I will then do is look at it first from whatever device I'm capturing the image. So originally, this image was captured in S-Log RAW. So when you look at that on the waveform display, it has the white at around about 60% for S-Log 2 and the gray at 32%. Now you can overstop your camera by 1 stop or 2 stops, and then that will change the level. So 1 stop over will give you 71%, and 2 stops over will give you 83%. And so what you would want to do in those cases on your waveform display is set up a cursor so that it's set to that specific level. And then you just balance your white to that particular point, and then adjust the gain or the white balance or the shutter controls or the iris on your camera to set that up within the white point and the gray point. Once you've got that captured, then in your favorite editing application, you can come back and color correct that and adjust that, and then apply your specific curve, whether that's for hybrid log gamma or Dolby PQ. And what that will do is it will change the values that you're looking at here. So then if we apply a curve that we do for PQ's standard 2084, otherwise known as Dolby Vision, that will give us this large range here for the blacks, and it will give us this range here for the white. So around about 75% or so is where in PQ you want to be setting your white point for a 1000 nit monitor with a reference white at 100. And then your grays will fall in the 52 to 58%. It doesn't have to be exactly that value, but around that value so that you can tweak it in your color correcting or editing application.
And this is very interesting or very good information to have, because I speak to a lot of color graders and they're used to putting the faces in a certain percentage or IREs, etc. And going to high dynamic range, the way we look at our scopes is very much changing.
Right.
And so your description here will be of great interest to those who are going to high dynamic range and learning how to read their scopes again. So I'm very glad to interview you on this product and get an idea of how you're using our scopes and using our tools like this, and how to start reading them for the high dynamic range workflows, which are coming on very strong this year.
Yes.
Anyway, that's James Gardner with Tektronix at NAB 2016. Bye for now.